Anna-Lena is working with a German missionary program. She had originally planned to go somewhere in Latin America. Instead, she ended up at this Catholic orphanage in Romania. She didn't know much about the country or its people, but she was open to new experiences and she wanted to do good, to help children who didn't have homes of their own. Marina Schneider's also doing missionary work. The two Germans are here to help the Sisters of St. Mary Magdalene who run the home. Anna-Lena had heard about egg tapping before, but Romania's take on this Easter tradition is new to her. She explains that one person has to say Christ is risen as they tap the egg, and the other replies, yes, he is risen indeed. The nuns believe that the Christian faith and celebrations such as Easter can help improve the lives of children here. Sister Maria says most are from broken homes. She says the fact they believe they will rise with Jesus and live on with him provides a great deal of hope and reassurance. She thinks it's good that the children can feel faith in their lives. The children have made pictures for Sister Adelgundes. They're like a substitute family for her. And also for Emil. His dad put him in the home because he had too many children to feed, 10 in total. He's been here for 9 years already and is now learning German. Georgiana says they never celebrated Easter at home. They didn't even have running water. Her grandmother told her and her sister that they were going for a walk, but that was a lie. They remember being scared for several months when they first arrived at the orphanage. But in hindsight, Andrea says the decision was right. It simply wouldn't have worked out at home, she explains. They've been put on the right path here, and she says it's no surprise that she's come to value her rosary so much. In this extremely poor region of eastern Romania, there are more horse carts than cars. Many of the people who live here are very religious. Anna-Lena and Marina found the atmosphere a bit oppressive at first, but they've gotten used to their daily lives, which they divide between work, praying and attending church. Anna-Lena says they go at least 3 times a week. She says she likes the sense of community that binds the village together. She explains that the children sense it too. They may come from a troubled family, but they get special attention here and people are always asking them how they're doing. And the two Germans also feel like a part of the village community now. Marina says they almost feel at home because they've met so many people in the village. The church is an important meeting place for the villagers. Anna-Lena and Marina have even learned the words of the Romanian hymns. There hasn't been time to replace the picture of Benedict XVI with one of the new Pope, but everyone here followed the recent events in Rome very closely. Marina says everyone here loves gossip, just like in any village. They particularly like Pope Francis because of his modesty and his attitude towards the poor. Sister Adelgundes said there was a lot of excitement surrounding his election. She explains that the television was on a lot more than usual. Sister Maria thinks the new Pope is a great man. She's very glad that charity and poverty seem to be important themes to him. She says she's happy because this Pope is so close to the people, reaching out to them and listening to people's problems. She hopes he will continue along this path. Sister Adelgundes is also glad that the new Pope seems to have a different approach to the papacy. She says what they've seen so far is very promising. She explains that they pray a lot for Pope Francis with the children.
denken mitsamt unseren Kindern, dass wir viel für den Papst beten müssen.
Marina and Anna-Lena only have a few angel decorations in their apartment, no picture of the Pope. But they also followed his election with great interest. They're particularly pleased about the name he chose. Marina says the name Francis was an obvious selection, and she was surprised that no one else did so before. She thinks Francis is exactly how she would imagine God's representative and St. Peter's successor to be, someone who is modest. Anna-Lena also feels very close to the new Pope. She went to a Franciscan school and has been to Assisi in Italy several times. And she knows all about the story of Francis of Assisi. She says that he was given a mission long ago to build up God's church, and that's why she thinks the Pope's choice is so beautiful. Go and build up my church, she thinks, is a wonderful message. And it has to be a caring church, she thinks, just like the orphanage. Even though the children seem very happy here, they sometimes wait for days in vain for phone calls and visits from their families. Marina and Anna-Lena say being there for the children is an expression of faith. It's all about praying together, eating together, and fostering a sense of family, which is what they miss the most. Claudio is the youngest child in their home. Marina says he can sometimes be quite a handful, but she takes it in her stride because she knows he's gone through a lot and she wants him to feel comfortable here. Marina says she thinks the children are generally as happy as the circumstances allow, though of course they'd rather be at home. Anna-Lena had to apply for a residence permit before she could come to Romania. She's here as part of a project called Temporary Missionaries. She explains that this means living, praying and working with others. She thinks the notion of living with others is the best part of all, and living a spirited life. And Marina explains that this entails doing things differently from the way they used to at home. Instead, it means simply joining in and not imposing anything on the people here. And in terms of language, they're coping pretty well. She says it's all in Romanian and explains that apa means water and lapte means milk and should be kept in the fridge. Sarapudra means sugar. She says it didn't take that long to learn the basics. Marina has come up with her own learning method. She's put notes all over the apartment on objects that she uses over and over again. She explains that door is Usche. Wardrobe is Dulap. And she's also put notes behind the coats. So now they can communicate quite well, but they still use their hands at times. For example, to help Marian do his math homework.
Fratele, are cu 15 lei mai multe cât sora. Știi câți lei ai sora?
And he helps them with their Romanian. Even though his mom has only called him once over the past 2 years, Marian is worried about his dad hitting her. He says he prays for his mom to be okay every night. Claudio also prays for his parents and for the people doing good and for people all over the world, he says. The Christian faith is omnipresent in the orphanage. Sister Carmen teaches hymns to the children and to the other village kids no one looks after at home. In the evening, the older children watch Mel Gibson's film The Passion of the Christ, about the final days of Jesus of Nazareth. Once a week, a psychologist comes to talk to the orphans about their fears and concerns. She's also very religious. She says that God is a bottomless source in psychological terms. Claudia hasn't been living at the home very long. She's finding it very difficult to settle in, and she's very shy. The psychologist is trying to find out how she's coping without her family. Even though such stories sadden Marina and Anna-Lena, they've had many happy moments with the children over the past few months. They had no idea what to expect at first, which is why Marina brought her rabbit with her for moral support. He's called Wally, she says, and explains that he's so sweet even though he's a bit old and faded. She says she loves the fact that he smells of home, and that's why she never washed him. Overall, though, Anna-Lena and Marina don't feel homesick anymore. They say they've settled in so well that they don't want to go back to Germany. They're already dreading saying goodbye to everyone when their mission is over, because the nuns and the children at the orphanage have become like a second family to them now.